News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz Ali.
And a very good evening to you. This is Newsline Prime, live as always from the News First studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And this evening, it's a little bit more about numbers, a bit about the budget, a bit about campaign financing. Both matters relevant to you, the people. And to discuss this and a bit more is Mr. Vidura Wickramanayaka. Very good evening to you, sir.
Very good evening for us.
Lovely to see you on the program.
Exactly. How are you? How have you been doing?
I'm good, thank you very much. And I feel much better that I've seen you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment.
Please do, and I'm about to give you another one. On behalf of the network and on behalf of the people, certainly on behalf of everybody at Team News First, we want to place on record, quite openly, our admiration, our appreciation that you and 6 others led the way in publicly declaring your asset declaration.
So thank you.
Thank you, because that denotes openness. Now, Mr. Vidura, you and 6 others sorry, have declared your assets declarations publicly.
Yes.
Not that you haven't done it before, you've done it and made it, and it's available with the speaker. But yeah, until you did it publicly, I wouldn't be able to openly talk about it.
Sure.
I can only read it and go to bed. Now then...
No, you are not even allowed to read it.
Oh, I'm not allowed to read it?
Not even us. We cannot even ask for a copy of that. It's been sealed and kept. That's it.
Oh. Well, you've now put it out in the open. 6 others have joined so you're the lucky 7, or the good 7. Now then, what are you hoping for?
Well, for us, first and foremost, we had had good leaders in our country.
Yeah.
And also good followers, in the sense that immediate followers, let's say the prime ministers, then the members of the parliament.
Right.
Now, those people, whether they performed or not, up to the expectations of people, they didn't rob the country. And they were very open about everything. Let me bring to your notice, when Mr. S.W.R.D. Bandaranayaka passed away, his Rossmead Place bungalow was mortgaged.
Yeah.
When Mr. Dudley Senanayaka passed away, he had only 90 rupees in his bank account.
In today's money, would that be 100?
This is 1973 I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
So, it could be, maybe, let's say 100,000.
Yeah, okay.
And 4 times he has been the Prime Minister of this country.
Dudley.
Mr. Dudley Senanayaka.
Right.
So, in comparison of today's politicians, you can just imagine if he really wanted to be corrupt, the wealth that he would have acquired.
Right.
Not just 90 rupees.
Yeah.
So these are and also I should mention Mr. Vijayananda Dahanayaka, who was a Prime Minister for a very brief period, for about 3 months.
And he took his bag and hopped on the bus or the train to Galle.
He has been doing that until, I think, the last stages of his life. So, but these people are honest, clean, committed to that cause. But now, it's the irony. Today, somebody will take into politics. Why? To earn money. Swindling. They are swindlers, not politicians. Look at let's not talk about the past.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the present.
Yeah.
Take the case of bond scam. the whole country, the whole world knows the present Prime Minister was the mastermind. You are gazing at me.
I'm wondering what you're going to follow that up with.
Yes.
I'm glad that you're saying this, because
for two reasons.
Yeah.
As long as we could remember, and since the inception of central bank, it stayed with as a subject of the finance ministry.
Correct.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Then that subject was changed to the prime ministers. Under the list of subjects of the prime minister,
we went to the national policy plan.
National policy plan. Then number two.
So the point you're making is that the central bank has always been listed under the Ministry of Finance.
Exactly.
The Minister of Finance has been the President, has been the Prime Minister, but the central bank never moved away from the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Right.
Then the second reason, why did he, let's not go into details, why did he appoint a special inquiry, why did he make a special inquiry, three persons?
The Pitipana Committee.
Yes. Handpicked by him. And what did he tell to the parliament? There was nothing wrong. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this.
That's what he said.
That is what he said.
Yeah.
So this is why I say he was the mastermind. Of course, the governor of central bank at that time, Mr. Mahendran, was also played a huge role on this.
Well, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry said so.
Yes. But the Presidential Commission of Inquiries did not dig deep into Prime Minister's activity.
They sent him printed questions.
Printed question.
But they're allowed by law to do that.
They are allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But
they should have done that.
They
with
should
everybody.
have, yes, they should have let him testify. They would have done that. Because after all, let's say he's innocent. Let's presume that he's innocent.
Yeah.
Then he get a chance to prove his innocence. With doing this, sending a list of questions, then it further strengthens what the further.
You see, Mr. Vidura, during those proceedings, I don't really want to go on about this, but I just want to point it out. Mr. Ravi Karunanaika was the cabinet minister at the time, and he was questioned for, I think, for about 6 hours. And all sorts of things, you know, he was asked about. And he answered them all,
yes,
under oath. Obviously, he wasn't happy. Nobody would be, but, you know, he had to follow the law. But my point is that when Admiral Vijay Gunaratne went to court, at Fort Magistrates Court, and he was wearing his uniform, the magistrate asked him to come there as a civilian, as in civilian clothes, which he did. He went back and came. Now, I'm not asking that there's no uniform for the Prime Minister, but the Prime Minister in that case, at that proceedings, should have been treated as another person.
Exactly.
Mr. Karunanaika was treated as another person, and every other person was treated as another person. But not this, and he's also a cabinet minister. Ravi Karunanaika, cabinet minister, but treated differently. I found that, I was present there, I found both those utterly revolting.
Nobody should be above the law, including the executive president.
Right.
This is my personal view.
So now that, Mr. Wickramanayaka, what do you think? 7 people have given their asset declarations. Do you think that Mahinda Rajapaksa will give his asset declaration? Do you think that Namal will give it? Do you think that, I don't know, Chamal Rajapaksa, Ranil Wickramasinghe, Malik Samaravikrama, Kabir Hashim, Lakshman Kirialla. He said he's got 400 million in the bank. We'd really like to make him make his asset declaration public. If these people are, if they want to back their words with real action, do you think that they should?
They should. They should. That is why I was, let me answer your question, the first question, very briefly.
Yeah.
So, we want to change this, of the parliamentarians becoming rogues, they cheating the nation, swindling, graft and corruption, all that has to stop. So this is an initiative towards that direction.
Yeah.
Declaring, making assets, liabilities and asset statement public. So we want, I don't know whether the people whom you name will declare it in public. Yeah. But nevertheless,
I'd like to see all 218 now left in Parliament, and I'd like to see President Sirasa too.
Definitely, definitely, and they should. This is what we have to be very open. When we step into public life, we have to be very open. I mean, my personal view, we should not hold. For an example, we should not have anything to do with the stock market or any business ventures. Because we will, anyway, after becoming a member of parliament, if we still hold on to those things, whether we like it or not, we might do something in favor of those for our personal gains. That should not happen. That should not happen. In other countries, not only where those developed countries, but also underdeveloped countries, they have to relinquish their assets before taking the oath as a parliamentarian.
Right.
So I think that is where we have to guide ourselves. For that, you need a lot of force. And that is why I make an appeal, even at this juncture. Please tell your member of parliament to declare his or her assets and liabilities. Make it public, so that you all can judge how did he or she started and where he or she is now. This is a must. If you want to stop graft and corruption and bring sanity into this, please, I appeal to you all to do this.
Powerful plea from our guest this evening, Mr. Vidura Wickramanayaka. Now then, as you know, on Newsline and on Newsline Prime, we encourage our viewers to send us messages, questions by SMS 0772 300 305, appearing on your screen about now. Now then, Mr. Wickramanayaka, this program today will be incomplete without you telling us what your thoughts are on the budget. Is there any redeeming feature of this? What is it about this budget that has attracted you most or not attracted you?
In very few words, it is a festival of numbers.
A festival of numbers.
That's all.
That's a good title for this program, for today's edition. A festival of numbers with Vidura Wickramanayaka on TV1, Newsline. Is that all it is?
It is. No,
Kema's boy has spent...
Kema's boy.
He spent all this time and you're calling it a festival of numbers.
It's a very boyish document, I should say. Right. And so for us, let's see, has it been taken into consideration the fiscal policies or the economic reforms that we have to turn this country, transform this country to a better, to align with the future? what is the contribution of this budget on that aspect? I don't see that. Because the primary production, primary producers has been left in the dark. For an example, agriculture, plantations, and also the fisheries, the small and medium scale industries. So these are the small wheels that drive the bigger wheels of the economy. Unless we oil this well, the small wheels, we won't be able to turn the bigger wheels. That is what has happened for the past couple of years. We have to understand this is the ground reality.
They've done nothing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. They should have, if they have done something, let's say they have done something, they should have done more. So we are just a nation who is importing from another country and selling it to our own people. We are just mere brokers.
What do you think? We're getting a question coming in by telephone into the control room. The caller is asking, what do you think will happen to the US dollar in terms of this budget? Has anything been done to check the high value of the dollar?
No, I don't think so, because look at what happened to the stock market the week before. Now, have we done anything to safeguard the stock market? Nothing.
But the UNP will argue that this is their policy of an open economy, an open market.
Is there any economy to be open anymore? I don't see. We are giving everything. Now, lately there was a on the Facebook there was a nice. The Prime Minister was saying that he has made this country self-sufficient.
In what?
In paddy.
Okay.
Okay. Then there was with the King Parakrambahu, the head has been changed to Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe.
Right.
And it says Vikunumbahu.
But this is what this whole our system of governance has been changed on its head to do, and that's why you and I are laughing about it.
So, just imagine these are not the so-called elite or very well educated.
Yeah.
Not even the politicians. But
let's take a question, shall we, Mr. Vidura? Does Mr. Vidura Wickramanayaka think that politicians should not hold shares of publicly quoted companies which are generally managed by professional managers?
Yes.
They shouldn't.
I honestly.
Not even one share?
Nope.
All right, let's. Here we go. Why shouldn't they?
Why should they? If they are in politics.
What's the fear?
What they can.
Shouldn't they lead by example? You want to buy, you want to spread the ownership of shares and so on. And so, as a member of parliament or minister or even the president, you set an example and say, look, I earned this bit of money. I got 52,000 rupees as salary. So I've bought 47,000 rupees or 45,000 in shares. And Bandula Gunawardene says I can live with 7,000 rupees. So, I've bought 45,000 worth of shares. What do you say about that?
For us, we become politicians, or for that matter, members of the parliament, the representatives of the parliament,
right,
of the people. Mind you, we are the servants of the people. Servants of the people. We serve.
But that onerous
wait.
obligation.
Yes, for us. Give me a second. And if and only if. Now, what happened at the COPE with this bond scam issue?
Yeah.
Lot of members, some of the members, I should say most of them, were in talking terms with the accused.
Yeah.
And they were safeguarding their own interests as well as their interest. What is their own interest? They would have been in the payroll of these people. Or maybe they have indirectly financed them. Indirectly or indirectly, they have financed them. These are the issues. So you want, say, let's say, if there's a particular company, now you can see some of the financial companies. Now the problems that they're having with their depositors.
Yeah.
So if I'm the shareholder of such a company,
you'd be minded to vote in a particular way.
yes, won't I support the company than these innocent depositors? That is what I am saying. We should not hold a single share for that matter.
One more question very quickly, yes, before we go into a short break. Please ask Mr. Wickramanayaka why the TNA is critical of the budget.
Well, I have seen for the past 4 years,
yeah,
they have been critical of the budget, but they vote with the budget, for the budget.
All right. On that note, we're going away for a short break. Don't go away. After all, this is Newsline Prime. We'll be back.
News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz TV.
And welcome back to Newsline Prime. We're in conversation with Mr. Vidura Wickramanayaka. Now then, I want to ask you this question. I wonder how you will react to it. It has often been said, especially in recent times, that Sri Lanka's biggest laundry is the parliament and the parliamentarians there, because they attract monies for their campaign. Quite often they'll say, well, I got money for the campaign, I got money for the campaign. Sujiv Singh said that that he didn't even know, but you know, somebody from Perpetual gave a check and so on. He didn't even know that. Sarat Fonseca said he got 100,000 rupees. Dasa Jayasekara said something else, and I do hope Dasa Jayasekara is feeling better. With all that exercise, we're surprised at what's happened to you. Right, now then, these people receive money, but what the money they receive is the tip of the iceberg. So, do you feel, will you promote a campaign financing act or a political donations act or something like that, campaign donations?
Yeah, definitely, we have to do that. We have to limit. But there is, even now there is a law for us.
Yes, but it's not implemented.
No, it's not implemented
but that
at all.
law asks all candidates to declare their expenses after, when it's finished, right? Whether you win or you lose, you must say it.
No, there is nothing as such.
Right.
But there is a law says that you can spend only this much for a voter. That is how it goes.
Yes, but then how do you count?
No, you cannot, because that is how they say. Okay, I don't know. Somebody printed these posters for me. Yeah. Somebody came to Sirasa and they had paid this amount of for the advertisement. Right. That is what they always say that. Right. And somebody gave me, as you said, somebody gave me a check or send me a check by post. Right. I didn't know. Right. So we are, that is like the assets and liabilities, they be made public. Yeah. We have to make that this also public. And
in the United States, you can go into online, and there are sites where you can type in the name of, let's say, they think that Vidura Wickramanayaka gave some money to whichever candidate. You can press the type it all in, and in the US, by the way, interestingly, a small donation is a maximum of $200, and anything over that is called a large donation.
Yes.
And it's fascinating because you can see, I mean, bearing in mind that President Obama, at the time it was a record, both him and the counterpart, President Obama spent something like $733 million on his campaign. Okay, it's a big economy, but how much do you think you spend on your political campaign?
Maybe around, I don't know, about 2015 it was around, because there are 8 electorates,
right,
but I campaigned only in 4 electorates.
Okay.
Because I could not, I cannot, I was not able to do it. You need a lot of money for that.
Right. Where did your money come from?
I got some money from my brother, right, some from my father,
right,
and some was like they supported bringing 1,000 rupees. Some people got together and gave 80,000, things like that.
Right. Okay.
So it's almost, the total came to about, I have to be very open about it, since you raised the question, how much did I spend? Less than 5 million.
Less than 5 million?
Yes.
That's
because no posters.
That's pretty low key.
Yeah, very low key.
But then you have your reputation and your name, and that was the best advertisement.
Exactly.
Better than coming on any network.
Exactly. Exactly. That is what I have. Not only me, but also my father. He carried a lot of weight.
Right.
But
are you true? When you entered politics, did he say anything to you?
No, we were in 2 different camps at that time.
Okay.
So I was in Mahajanek Satperun and he was in...
what did he say about that?
Well, he didn't say anything about it, because
was there a go-between? Somebody called Mother in between?
Yeah, Mother was there. Of course, she was there, but it was a at very young age I came into politics. When I was about 16, 17. It was early as 1977. But then I became very active after 94.
Okay.
So he didn't say anything, but I can remember when I was chosen as the organizer for SLFP in Horana. He said one thing: don't be afraid to take decisions and to make decisions.
Keeping to that, as we come to an end this evening, keeping that in mind, how committed are you to starting a movement or a request in Parliament to introduce very quickly, perhaps as quickly as the 19th Amendment, a campaign financing act that will preclude foreigners,
yes,
in any shape or form, in donating money, indirectly, directly, any old way, and to ensure that all donations are traceable and transparent. It doesn't matter, you don't have to be shy about your wealth. If you've got wealth, that's something to celebrate. And if you want to support XYZ, well, you can, but as long as you put it down, and maybe you don't want to disclose your address and so on, that's fine too, I suppose. But would you welcome such a move?
Yes, of course. I'll be glad, more than happy to initiate such
Vidura Wickramanayaka said yesterday that it is absolutely essential.
Yes, it's essential. It's absolutely essential. I should repeat his words. Because we have to draw a line somewhere.
Right.
And that has to be drawn as soon as possible. Because we cannot go ahead with this type of politics. Dirty politics. No, we have to build this country with everybody's support. And each and everyone should contribute to this country's well-being. We are talking of the future, our children, your children. And that is what we have to make this country a place where we all can live in harmony and in happiness, contentment. That is what we need. So for that, the politicians should take the first initiative.
Vidura Wickramanayaka, superbly put, very well said indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Faraz.
If I lived in your constituency, I'd vote for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Again, it's a compliment to me. I'll take it as a compliment.
Thank you. I do wish that everybody else will also, in Parliament, put out their asset declarations once and for all, so that we all know exactly where they stand when it comes to being pure and without any doubt that they are committed to what they've all come there to do, to serve the people. That's the way it was on Newsline Prime. Have an excellent weekend. There's something called the big match happening. The last day is tomorrow, and I'm sure that everybody will be making their way. Will you be going, Mr. Vidura?
No, unfortunately not.
No, you won't be going. Well, he's not going. I might not go. In the end, it's been a pleasure. Just one thing. The papers showed this photograph of Mr. Wickramanayaka at the big match. Brilliant. He goes there often, all the time. And I don't know what song he sang and whether he did sing, but he was accompanied today, he was photographed with M.A. Sumandran. On that note, take care, have a great evening, great weekend, and God bless you.
News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz TV.